I work from my studio in Buxton. I'm fortunate to have a largish studio, so I can do a number of different projects at the same time. I love developing a whole series of works that are related but use different approaches and different media. It can seem very diverse, but if the works are all together, it's evident that they're related. For instance, these fish come out of developing texture and pattern, something that runs through all of my work, and out of these paintings came my colograph techniques, which I'll talk about later. In the process of making this painting, I was playing with the scales, and they're made by painting up paper with beautiful abstract colours. I then cut out the scales, and these would be applied to the painting, but they would be all over the place like little jewels. Out of this came the fisherman's trophy, the skin of the mermaid's tail, which is again about pattern, but it really concentrates on the beauty of the minute detail in nature. Like the fisherman's tail, the use of the repetitive pattern was further developed into this picture. Each piece in this is like an individual abstract painting celebrating colour, but it's put on a grid so that it has an almost mantra-like quality, and I think is like a meditation, and it's very calming. The branches of these trees are an intricate pattern in themselves, but they are also covered in a pattern of moss and shadows. And the colours, although it may appear a limited palette of blues and greys, do in fact include pinks and purples, turquoises and lime greens. And in the sky areas there are loads of different densities of blues and even sunshine yellows. This is a painting where just the structure is shown. I've simply painted it white, not using colour, because you can see the shadows created by the structure of the painting. These paintings are not best viewed in a gallery space where the light is controlled, but in a room full of natural light where the light will change over the period of the day, and so the shadows created within the painting will change even as the sun moves behind a cloud. All this texture naturally develops into the colograph techniques that I'm using. Colographs are a form of printing using the intaglio method. It's textures and collage that hold the inks, so you ink up the plate, put a piece of soaked paper on top of it and pass it through a press. These prints are a very natural medium for this subject matter. When it is inked up and printed and the light comes through the picture, they express the ambience and light of a woods. The painting is inked up using inks rubbed into the picture, and the more inks you use, the richness of the colours build up. And I've used that technique on these paintings, which are canvas built up with strings and canvas, and with these I put the paint on top and then let it dry, and then add a glaze of paint which rubs into all the textures. Let that dry, apply another glaze of paint, let it dry until the colours achieve a beautiful richness. This desire to experiment and play with different techniques and mediums is very important for my development as an artist. Each new piece, each new painting seems to allow a step forward.